for that, I'm truly, truly grateful. And I'm going to leave this dinosaur up here. I'm going to take the little bear with me, you know. But anyhow, it's always a pleasure to be at a Narcotics Anonymous meeting, especially talking about the dinosaurs are coming. You know, like that's really cool to be in that position. I remember going to California doing a regional convention, being the opening speaker, and I had about 20-something years clean, and man, I started meeting Bob and all the other people out there with the 30s and the 40 years. I was like, okay, you know what I mean? But anyhow, it feels good. I want to do a little something with you guys, help us get centered a little bit. Can everybody just take a couple deep breaths, just inhale the positive energy and allow the negative energy to go out. Close your eyes slightly and listen to my voice for a few minutes. And that is, as we breathe, we allow that positive energy to flow through our bodies and all the negative things just to flow out of our bodies and to allow us to be open to the message that God will allow to come across this podium today and in your lives, and to be able to enhance whatever you're doing in your lives, and to be able to accept the things in your lives, is, you know, the so-called good as well as the so-called bad, and realize that, you know, that we're co-creators with the creator of the universe, and that all things are possible. You know, if we just, you know, believe and appreciate where we're at in our lives and allow, you know, the things that you're holding on to, just kind of like with every breath, just release them and allow them just to flow away, just like the breath, the breath that you allow to go out of your body. Just let the negative things just flow away, just gently flow away. You know, don't hold on to them, just let them go. And allow all the positive things, the things that you only dreamed and hoped and wished about, you know, to come into your life, because it is possible for us to obtain them if we just have faith and just believe in this process and hold on. You know, when times really get rough and we want to just really let go, you know, and just gently, you know, appreciate who you are and appreciate the person next to you, and realize that we're all a one. There's no separation in this human life and this human spirit, you know, that we all got the same thing, same goals in mind, and that there's no winners and ain't no losers. It just is, and we're all in that process of recovery. Thank you for that. You can gently bring yourself back to this place. Cool. And that's real awesome for me, you know. If you knew, you know, a lot of times, you know, a lot of that's kind of like built around the 11th step. You know, it talks about you know, talks about prayer and meditation, you know, and it's really good to slow myself down at times, you know, because I have a tendency with this disease of addiction is to get into high gear and want everything right away to happen for me, you know. But when I do that process of prayer and meditation, it kind of like brings me to a still place. And like for me, it's like, you ever see ripples in the water? Like, that's how I start my meditation. That's how I start. But in the end, it's like the water's real smooth and I can see my reflection in it. You know, I can see, you know, some of the things that God had for me, not with my physical eyes, but with my spiritual eyes, with my intuition, you know, because, like, you know, I understand now because I listen to myself more closely today. God don't speak to me in words. He speaks to me in feelings and through intuition. You know, it's a feeling that I get inside of myself, man, and I know that God is speaking to me, you know, and I try to follow that to the best of my ability after years and years of going against it. You know, for instance, you know, like I like to speed, like, you know, with a car or motorcycle or something, and I can speed, and I'll get this feeling inside of me, you know, and this feeling, I realize that it's telling me to slow down. And now, how did I get to that point was that I didn't follow that feeling for a lot of times, and I would end up with tickets, you know, points on my license. Now, when I get that feeling, you know, whatever it is, I'm using that to give you a visualization of what I'm saying. When I get that feeling, you know, I pay attention to myself, and I'll slow up if I'm speeding. And sure enough, a couple miles down the road, I would see the state trooper. You know what I mean? And then I would, like, smile because I listened to myself. You know, that's just one incident and a whole lot of incidences where I finally listened to myself. I'm able to listen because I've always had that feeling. Even when I was using, I had that feeling deep down inside of me that feeling would tell me that I'm getting ready to do something destructive. I'm getting ready to go against. And my mother had it really big time, and I used to hate that. Go around my mother and say, boy, what you get ready to do? I'm like, what do you mean? Because I feel something. I'd be like, oh. You know what I mean? You don't want to hear that when they talk about they feel something, because you know they're feeling something. And I'm like, but I can't stop myself because I'm caught up. I can't stop. And I'm like, damn it. So now go out and do the next phone call she get, you in jail, ain't you? You're in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And she would know. So I had a great sponsor years ago, man, that used to pull me up on my stuff. And I thought she had a PhD. I mean, I thought she was psychic, for real. You know, because she said, you drinking, you drugging? I'm like, why would you say that? Because you hanging around with Bobby, Jim, and Joe, and Joe. You know, that birds of a feather thing. You know what I mean? I thought she was psychic because I didn't realize, I couldn't, she used to say birds of a feather flock together. Well, what the hell did that mean? You know what I mean? I didn't have a clue. You know what I mean? What it meant. She seen the crowd that I was hanging around with, so she just put two and two together. You know what I mean? But anyhow, being in this recovery, how did I get to be 26 years and 3 or 4 months clean? Is because I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, 3 trips to the penitentiary, all the juvenile jails, you know, and finally seeing somebody that gave me some hope. Because my hope was once a junkie, always a junkie. And I couldn't grow past my beliefs. If you believe something, even if that's wrong in your eyes or society eyes, what you believe in is right to you, get the same results. I couldn't stop, and I believed that once a junkie, always a junkie, because the proof was in the pudding. I couldn't stop. And every time I tried, I was too tired, too broke, too disgusted, and couldn't go get it, but I was thinking about it. I spent so much energy in thinking about copping that I could have pushed the steamship from New York to Paris, and I ain't even left the house. You know what I mean? The energy. Who got it? Can I cop? Who can I burn? Can I put the simp game on somebody? You know the deal. That's a lot of energy that I spent, you know. And so when I was sick and tired, it was a guy in my neighborhood, had abscesses everywhere. And when I used to come past him, you know, you're hustling, he's sitting on the step. I'm like, damn, if I ever get that bad, I'm going to stop. But I didn't realize that if I'd have took a few minutes to talk to him, I'd have come to realize that I felt the same way he felt, the same pain, the same despair, the same hopelessness, the same degradation he was experiencing. I was experiencing the same thing. I just had veins. You know what I'm saying? I had veins. You know? So when I got rescued, how I got rescued is that I went to Montgomery County, that's one of the richest counties, and broke in the chief of police's house, and they caught me. So you know where I went? I went to jail. You know, not bail, none of that, straight to jail. And so I'm in the county jail, and so I'm reading a newspaper article, and this article in the newspaper says that we have found a way to treat these new drug addicts, these polyaddicted people, it said. It said that a polyaddicted person was the person that'll shoot dope, drink liquor, vicks inhalers, asthma, smoke shit, pop pills. I'm like, shit, that's me. Garbage head. You know, because my drug of choice was more. My drug of choice was whatever I could get my hands on. I like crank, speed. That's what I liked. But if I ain't had that and you smoking reefer, sure I smoke it. You drinking wine, I drink that. It didn't matter. You know what I mean? That's my drug of choice more. So I asked my cell partner, I said, man, can you write that rehab for me? So he said, yeah. So he wrote the rehab, and who come to interview for me in rehab was the guy I told you about that had all the abscesses. The man had been clean for 5 years. And when he walked into the room, like my mouth immediately fell open, like I couldn't believe that this was the same guy. And I was afraid to ask him, was he who I thought he was? Because he might have knew who I thought he was and got insulted. You know what I mean? Because I don't know nothing about principles and all that kind of stuff. So I just looked at him. He introduced himself. My name is so-and-so. I shook his hand and stuff. And he said, what's your problem? I said, well, I shoot dope. I steal, blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, you an addict. I'm like, all right, shit, I'll be a Republican. Shit, I don't care. I'm trying to get some help. You know what I'm saying? So he said, I'm going to go to court with you, and you're a prime candidate for this program. But the reason I tell that story a lot is because he was the first person I ever seen that gave me some hope. You know what it's like to live without hope? I mean, I see guys in the penitentiary got triple life, double life. I wonder, why do you keep getting up? Because they got hope. They got some hope that maybe the governor will sign a pardon. Maybe they'll change the laws. Maybe they'll get a pill or something. Something will happen where they can get out the next day. That's the why they keep getting up, because they had hope. But I was running around for years using and using without any hope of being any better. No more than an addict, sitting somewhere, smoking some joint, or drinking some liquor, and hopefully I can get a shot of dope. That was my hope. And, man, that was a miserable life, especially when you've hit a bottom. You're living in an abandoned building. You know what I mean? Life just ain't showing up for nothing. Paranoid all the time, talking to myself on a regular basis. Alexander, you're going crazy. I know, but ain't nothing I can do about it. And every time I would go out on one of the trips, it would take me longer and longer to get back to reality. That's a miserable existence. So anyhow, when I got rescued, when they arrested me, like something happened to me this time when I got arrested. They put me in the sheriff's car, and it felt like I had 100-pound bags of weights on my back. But when they put me in the sheriff's car, it felt like the weights fell off my back, and I'm sitting up in the car smiling. And the sheriff said, "Excuse me, what the hell are you smiling about?" I'm like, "I don't know." What I was smiling about in retrospect after, being down for a while, what I was smiling about because I wasn't being arrested. I was being rescued, and I was being rescued from myself. Because nobody ran me down and stuck drugs in my arm. Nobody poured liquor down my throat, put a pipe in my mouth. Matter of fact, I was looking for somebody to do that for me. You know what I mean? That'd have been nice if I'd have been laying somewhere every day, somebody coming 2-3 times a day and shoot me up with something. Shit, I'd have been a guinea pig for that. But no, I had to work for every high I ever got, and I worked hard. There wasn't no mediocre job. I remember stealing a safe from the housing authority. The safe wasn't even that big. About this big, but it was cast out. It was heavy. I weighed about 140 pounds, but that didn't mean nothing to me, and I was stealing it by myself because I didn't want to go get you to help me because I had to split it with you. So I get the safe. It's up on the second floor. Put it on my knees. Came down the fire escape, went to my car, got my keys out, opened it up, put it in there, and took it to this girl's house. I said, "Listen, I got a safe." Her eyes got, boing! What? And she was feeling the way I was feeling. So I'm thinking, in this safe is the mother lode. It's what I've been looking for all my life, a safe jam-packed full of money. Bring it in. Brought it in the house, put it in the basement. So I only had a couple little tools. Called a couple of addicts. "Listen, you got any tools?" "I got a safe." "What?" 2 more addicts showed up, 10 minutes. We beat on this safe, literally, for 2 days. We beat on it so it was round. You ever see the cartoons when people talking like in a cartoon, they had a little sign over the head, what they thinking? And I'm looking at everybody, and the girl thinking, with her money, she'll catch up on her bills, buy the kids some clothes. I'm thinking, go get me some dope, get a little coke, get a little combo shit, get me a couple freaks. You know what I mean? And this guy over here thinking shit, Girl, she constantly bringing us Gatorade. You know what I mean? Because she don't want us to pass out. We finally bust the safe open. We went up in there. I'm up in there because I'm the leader. Pulling shit out. Wasn't 1 penny in it. Not one. The 2 guys, they were like, damn. They split. The girl said, "Get that shit up out of my house." I couldn't even lift the door. The enthusiasm was gone. That enthusiasm I had was gone, man. Out the window, out the door. And I was like, damn, that was a lot of work for nothing. I had to go steal something else to get paid somebody to take that crap out of her house. You see what I'm saying? So I had a lot of incidents like that, man, where I worked real hard to get high and to stay high. The last time I used was in 1978. Last time I used, I'm in this county jail, and I could have gravitated to the Christians. I could have went to the Muslims. I could have went to the law library. But who do I go to? Addicts. Shit, because I fit right in. "Hey, Al, how you doing?" "Oh, I ain't doing that good." On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, I'm like, I was really feeling about a 6. But since they asked me now, I'm feeling a 10. Because I think they got something. I'm going to work them. "No, we ain't got none, but they're giving out medication down there. Medication, I'm showing you the insanity, the disease of addiction." So they gave us medication in these little Dixie cups. But we addicts. We're holding it in our mouth. And we all meet up and spit it in a cup. "Yeah, I'll go ahead." I drank it. I slammed it. Now, this cough syrup was 1% or 1% alcohol. If I had drunk a whole gallon, the best I could have got was diarrhea. You know what I'm saying? But what I realized, it wasn't the drug itself. It was the getting and the using. It was the camaraderie. It was the, you know what I mean, the getting over. It was the lifestyle that had me all caught up better than eating the cough syrup. It was that adrenaline, like stealing something, getting away. It's that adrenaline, man. It's that rush. And so the second time was my time to drink, because you go to the cough medicine thing 3 times a day, and there was about 7 or 8 of us. So next time I had my little cup of spit, and I'm running to my cell, and that's all it was, a spit. Anytime you put anything in your mouth, it starts secreting saliva. And so I looked at the cup of spit, and I had that voice again. That voice said, "Al, you ain't got to drink that." I'm like, whoa. I said, damn, this is spit. And it repulsed me. Because a lot of times, man, you know, it don't take long for us to clear up. You know what I mean? It don't, man. You know, my mind, man, is a powerful tool. And so that voice said, "You ain't got to do this." And I'm like, damn. And I dumped it in the toilet. You know, we addicts, man. You don't throw nothing away for even a remote chance of getting high off of it. I never threw nothing away. That was the first time I ever made a decision to throw something away. Although I knew it was spit, but it had a little bit of cough syrup up in it. And I made that decision. That was the last time I used. And that was an awesome experience, because I can look back and see how God carried me. Because when I hit my bottom, I said, "God, please help me. Help me, God. I can't live like this no more. I can't do this." You know, and he started that process for me. And I thought I used to surrender before, but I thought surrender was this. All this, I let all that go. But I still got this corner here. That's not surrender. Surrender to me is letting it go and stepping back. So I have some things in between me picking it back up. The things that I got between me now, I got a sponsor. I got a home group. I work the steps. I sponsor people. I still help people. I got an H&I commitment. I got some things in front of me that's going to stop me from getting relapse I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because relapse is just the process before I pick up. Pick up is the final result of that whole process. So I got some things in the way, you know? And I got a God, I'm understanding that's so powerful. I mean, wow, that works with me all the time. I ain't got to go looking for my high power. He's right inside of me. See, once I go in, if I go within, I won't go without anything. But I got to go within, you know. And I realized that, man, how that process worked, you know, and even at my worst times, man. So anyhow, I end up going to court. This is real funny. I go to court. My mother sent me a suit that I could wear at 145 pounds. Now I'm up to 190. 6 months later, man, you know, I'm playing handball. I'm eating 3 meals a day. I'm doing push-ups and sit-ups and squats. And so when I go to court, I go put on this little suit. I squeeze I'm in this little suit like this. Because if I do that, I'm going to tear it off me. So I think I'm looking humble. I think humility is a look. I can look humble. And the judge will look down and say, "Damn, look how humble this guy looks." You know, because they sit up high and you down low. I'm sitting there. Judge, do you have anything to say for yourself before I impose sentence? "Yes, sir, Your Honor. I'd like to go to that rehab, Your Honor. I'm tired of straddling the fence, Your Honor. Your Honor, can you help me, Your Honor?" Like the judge is some kind of idiot. He got degrees falling all off the floor. Matter of fact, he can spot people like me a mile away, you know, and I'm just talking my ass off, thinking I got my fingers and toes crossed. He said, "Mister, he said, Mister, you talking about you want to go to a rehab." He said, "Mister, you had a choice whether to use or not to use. You come in front of this court talking about you an addict. See, you had a choice." And I looked at my PD. I said, "What did he say?" And the PD said, "He said you had a choice." "Well, can I make it now?" You can make your choice after you do 3 to 10 and do the back time you owed from the last time you were here, you know. And see, I know that I'm an addict, because one time to the penitentiary would have been enough. No, one time to central booking would have been enough for any rational, sane thinking person. But with this disease, I ain't rational, I ain't sane thinking. Here's my thinking: next time I'll be quicker, faster, smarter. You think I'm saying I'll do it differently? I ain't thinking about maybe I should stop crime altogether. But here's the hit. Now I'm in jail. I'm getting information from these other convicts on how to do a better burglary, how to do a better stick-up, how to sell drugs better. And guess what? They right there with me. I can see if they wrote a bestseller, you know what I'm saying, or never been caught, but they right there with me, and I'm listening. What? You do what you don't learn? You know? Really crazy. But anyhow, they sent me back to the penitentiary for the third time, and I'm shackled all up. And God, it's so awesome, man, because it's not words for me that my communication is with my higher power. It's with feelings and thoughts. And so I'm coming down the corridor all chained up like John Dillinger or somebody, like I done killed some people, which I would have probably have killed something if the opportunity presented itself, because your life wasn't important to me overusing. You know what I mean? Because thank God that I didn't kill anybody out there, especially them police, man. You know, I had a shootout with Rizzo was, man, Philadelphia had a shootout with the Philadelphia police. I ain't got no business even standing here, you know, trying to use. But anyhow, this thought popped in my mind, say, you here because you're an addict, and using was more important to you than your family, than staying clean, than your children, than your freedom. That's why you're here. And that day, walking down that corridor, I accepted the fact that I was an addict. And it took some weight up off of me because I thought I was incorrigible and all them other long-ass words the psychiatrists use that I can't even figure out. I've been to the psychiatrist for 3 months in a diagnostic and finally go back and say, Doc, what's wrong with me? He said, you got fucked up. You got a fucked up individual. I'm like, oh, okay. And you guys said, no, you're an addict. You got a disease of addiction. And once I accepted some of them little things, it started my process to get better. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know. You know, I didn't know. I'd done 5 years. And them people from the rehab followed my progress. I'd done 5 years. I had 6 months to go. They came to the prison and talked to the warden, and the warden said I can go to a rehab. Alexander, would you like to go to a rehab for your last 6 months? Goddamn right. Shit. Rehab in the street or a 40-foot wall in jail. Let me think about it. No. Yeah, I'll go to the rehab. Come to the rehab like this, like they sent for my ass. I'll kill something up in this mother. That was my thinking. Because I was afraid. What I was really saying is, can somebody help me? Can somebody show me how to stop shooting dope? Can somebody show me how to grow up? Can somebody show me how to stop running out on my babies? Can somebody show me how to stop hurting the people that love and care about me? Help me, please. That's what I was really saying. And see, it was nothing but addicts there. See, we can identify with people. We see people coming like this in the room, we know they get scared. We just walk up to them and give them a hug. You know, and they had addicts just like me say, Alexander, bring your ass in and sit down. Whoa. You know, and while I was in the rehab, this was in 1983, I got my first 5 years clean in jail. And this is in 1983. This rehab didn't even have Narcotics Anonymous in it. I was there about 8 or 9 months, and they hired one of us, recovering addict. First thing he wanted to know, what night is Narcotics Anonymous? We say, what do you mean, AA? He said, no, NA, Narcotics Anonymous. We had never heard of it. That next week, we had an H&I, hospitals and institutions, come into that rehab. They set up their little paraphernalia and shit up in the front. I'm like, damn. They was just different. They had a different walk, a different... You know what I mean? I knew it was different because I had a stereotype of what an alcoholic was. Because in Philly, they had 8th and Vine Street, right? And all you seen down there was the alcoholic. They had 5 coats on, a beard, 1 shoe, and drinking Sterno. So that was my thing of an alcoholic. That ain't me. You see what I'm saying? But these NA people, man, they look slick. They came in and shit. I was like, yeah. And I sat up in the front. And even when it snowed outside, we in the rehab, I know them NA people ain't going to show up tonight. NA to the kitchen. It was. I'm like, damn, they must be getting paid. You know what I'm saying? And I was a doubting Thomas because I couldn't stay clean in the street. I only stayed clean in controlled environments when somebody else was pulling the strings. In jail, I said, I ain't using in jail. I had drugs in jail. I could have got a habit. Man, but I like crank. So if I'm shooting crank all day, I'm going to be up all night. I'm doing 2 days for one. Shit, I'll be up all night, the guard counting me, and I'm looking at his ass. I said, oh, no. So, and plus, where can you run in jail? You start holding folks in jail, boy, you know, you're going to start switching. You can't pay. I wasn't trying to do no switching. Shit. You know, had too much pride and shit for that. You know, once the disease get on you, hey, you'll switch. You know. So, anyhow, once Narcotics Anonymous came, I knew that that was my savior. I knew that that was my way up and out, because I was safe in jail, safe in rehabs, because they was calling the shots. Like I said, they tell you when to get up, when to go to sleep, when to eat, when to piss, when to get a visit, when not to get one. You know what I mean? So now I can take responsibility for my own life and grow up. You know, and these were some hard decisions, man, coming from where I came from. You know what I mean? In the rehabs, you tell it all, see it all, and, you know, and where I came from, you see nothing, hear nothing, and say nothing. And I had to switch my whole way of thinking, but I wanted to live. I didn't want to die. I didn't want to put the noose around my own freaking neck. I was sick of doing that. You know, so I made some decisions. I remember going to a meeting in downtown Philly, 3rd and Walnut. They dressed us all up because they get these donations and shit. I had my little donation shit on, had a little bow tie. I was looking slick, too. I go to the meeting and shit. You know, it's all new shit. You know, I'm trying to look tough, but, you know, I'm scared. I don't know what the hell they're going to do in these meetings. And so a guy came up, man, 6'3", 6'4". Hey, man, gave me this hug, right? And he hugged me. He might have been only hugging me 5 or 6 seconds, but it felt to me like he had been hugging me for minutes. I'm like, I do. Fucking let me go. You know, so I squirmed a little bit. He tightened up on my ass. I'm like, what the? So I stopped squirming, let go. So you keep coming back, man. I walked away like, God damn. I felt all weak. I felt secure. I felt love. I felt wanted. I felt a part of. I felt all the things that I've been looking for in drugs all my life. And what I come to realize that I had a man problem. I had a man issue. I always wanted my dad to validate me. Boy, you'll be all right, and hold me and talk to me, man. And, you know, and I didn't get that, man. I always wanted that from my dad. Always. Never freaking got it. And how I had to do that was through working these principles and working these steps here in Narcotics. And I had to do it for myself. I had to look within. And I had to take that little boy. And that's what comes to this cowboy hat. I'm a freaking cowboy today because I always wanted to be one. And where I came from, North Philly, ain't had no goddamn ponies. You know what I'm saying? My little boy wanted to be a cowboy, and I couldn't do them things. I wanted to ride motorcycles, and I wanted to ski, and I wanted to do a lot of shit, man, that I only could do once I put the drug down. Once I got through the hurt and the pain, man, and the things inside of me, man, that was stopping me from doing the things that I wanted to. Nobody encouraged me with shit. If they encouraged me, I didn't hear it. You know? I didn't get my GED until I was shit in the 30s in jail. You know, I was scared. That was another part of my disease, man. Ducking and hiding that I can't even fucking write my name. I couldn't even identify it if I seen it. Boy, can you know how hard it is trying to duck and act like you know when you don't know? Shit, no wonder I got high. You know? Peeping Tom. Love, what do you call it? Voyeurism now. Not a nice little name to it. Peeping fucking Tom. I peeped on my mother, my sister, all kinds of shit like that keep you wrapped up in. And I didn't know that. I didn't know I wasn't the only one that caught up into that kind of stuff until I got here to Narcotics Anonymous and started to get some freedom. You know, and once I heard a couple people talk about them things, it gave me the courage to talk about them kind of things too, man. What really went on inside of me. You know what I mean? Being in the penitentiary and literally being scared to death, but I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me and act like I got some courage. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff, man. And I can only free myself by being here in Narcotics Anonymous, man, because I know when I look at you, I'm looking at me. I ain't got to be afraid of you. You know what I mean? Because of your color, your size, your money, and that's we ain't got that shit in here. When you come in here, I'm an addict. You might be a psychiatrist, don't matter. Drop that shit at the door. You're an addict. Matter of fact, I sponsored a guy who had a PhD. He said, well, I'm working on, he had associates there. I have my associates, I'm going to work on my bachelor's. I said, motherfucker, you can't stay clean. You can't stay clean. You stay clean, then you tell me about that. Now he got 18 years and he's a PhD. Now he can talk. Before, I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? But the love and the beauty, man, and the things that come from Narcotics Anonymous, man, and just by doing a little bit of work. You know, I got 26 years and some months clean, but in recovery part, if I was to break that down, I'd probably end up with about 7 or 8 years recovery. You know, because sometimes I get caught up in the shit, but I got enough to stay clean. I know enough to stay clean. You know, regardless what happened, I know staying clean got to come first. I can stay clean with a wife or without her. I can stay clean with money or without it. With a job or without it, don't matter. As long as I stay clean, I got my spirit. I got some things inside of me that makes me a millionaire. Over and over again, I'm talking about my spirit from working them steps, especially in that new step guide. Gave me an opportunity to get my own PhD in spirituality or who I am. You know, that I ain't got to react to your reactions or something. I ain't got to react because you react. You know what I mean? I've learned a lot, man. Like, you know, cutting people off. My job now, man, is to be the best human being that I could be. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I don't think of that, but it's coming quicker. The more I work the steps, the more I get with my sponsor, the more I sponsor people, and I try to be the best that I can be. You know, because it ain't about what's outside of me. It's what's in my heart. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I see stuff and I realize that it's just an illusion. You know, oh, I can't do without that big screen TV. Okay? I can't do without it. Now I'm figuring out ways to get it. Then my recovery kick in. You can't afford that. That ain't even my priority. You understand what I'm saying? Now that illusion is gone because it was an illusion. You understand what I'm saying? Because inside of me, I gotta have that woman. But when she rejects my ass, it's just an illusion. You understand what I'm saying? It's just an illusion. Everything outside of myself is illusions to help me to get where I need to go, and the steps guide me to get there. Once I surrender. Once I surrender to the process that I'm powerless over my addiction, I become empowered. It says that we were powerless. It didn't say we were powerless. It said we were. But once you accept the fact that you become empowered, man, to do whatever you want to do. It don't matter. You know, me and my friend Art, we just started a business. I'm damn near 60 and he's 50. Shit, we started a roofing business. And he's the mechanic and I'm the goddamn laborer. Hey, look, but I do what I want. I want to get paid. I ain't got no PhD. I ain't got no whole lot. I do what the hell I got to do. And God has given me the energy, goddamn, to hump it up the ladder. I'm doing what I got to do. And eventually, because you understand what I'm saying? I need to create this. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to fall on me. I realize that life don't happen to me. Life happens through me. It's what I do. I can't blame no point the fingers at nobody about my situation. I created it. The good as well as the so-called bad, for the lack of a better name. It's just a process. It is what it is. Excuse me. It is what it is. You know, and I don't beat that. I still go to meetings. I tell you, the people that stay here, they make meetings on a regular basis. You know, they don't let life get in the way of not showing up here. Because everything that I got, everything that I am today is a direct result of coming here in Narcotics Anonymous, giving it away. You know what I mean? Because I tell the universe that I got it. So the universe gives it back to me. It's nothing foreign and strange about that. But when I tell the universe I don't have it, guess what? I don't have it. I don't have it. You know what I mean? So I understand the signs of things. It only happens to me because that's what I create. You know what I mean? I get what I get because I think what I think. If I think negative thoughts, that's what I get in my life, a bunch of negative bullshit. But once I think positive, the universe ain't got no choice but to give me what I think. You know, and how that happens is that the steps help me change my thinking. You know, it helps me to change my thinking. It all points to spirituality. It all talks about not the big I, you know, but the us, the we. It's the we thing. You know, it's about giving, not getting. It's about forgiving, you know, and once I can get to them common denominators, man, in my life, man, it becomes much, much more clearer. You know what I mean? You ever had the good feeling, man, of helping somebody? Man, is that a great feeling or what? And then the person that you think that you're helping, no, they think that you're helping them, but really you're helping yourself, because that's how it goes. I can't help me unless I help you. That's how I demonstrate that which I have. How can I experience love if I don't? The same door that gives it is the same door that receives it. There's only one door. So if I got the door to receive open, I can't really give it because mine is shut. And I realized that only through this process. Only through this process of recovery. And if you're new in this process of recovery, give yourself a break. They talked about habits. We can create a habit, they say in 30-something days, but we say in Narcotics Anonymous 90 days. If you're new, give yourself 90 days to work this process and to work it. Have a sponsor first, have a home group, have a little support network, have some things going on for you, and then do what we do for 90 days, and on the 91st day, see what your results will be. If you like me, being an addict, your ass will be the same thing. Because I can get a habit in a week. Don't take me 90 days to get a habit. And if you don't think you're an addict or you think you can do this on willpower or do it alone, I'll tell you what you do when you leave here if you think you can do that. Go to the drugstore and get a box of X-Lax. Chew them bad boys and will yourself not to shit. Now, if you can do that, maybe you are the exception. But the rule is, if you eat a box of X-Lax, hey, you better stay close to home. You see what I'm saying? And maybe you might not be an addict. You know what I mean? Maybe you can have one. But I ain't never had one or nothing. You know what I mean? I know I'm an addict. I love Oreo cookies. My favorite cookies in the whole world. I should get 3 rolls. 3 rolls. I get the pack, open them up, go set me a roll down. I said, damn, that's 2 rolls. Let me get a half of that other roll. See how am I thinking? Now, I ain't even watched the program yet. I don't down them, and I'm thinking about the other row and a half. But damn, I'll go get that other whole row. Now, there's only 6 cookies left. I'm thinking after I eat them, I ain't going to eat the whole 6. I'll eat 3. So somebody in the house will say, damn, Alexander ate all the whole pack of cookies? But if I leave 3, you know what I'm saying? I'm already got a stomach ache already. But I can't stop. I can't stop once I start on obsessing if I ain't got no tools. I'm in jail. I used to get heartburn a lot. And the guy said, yeah, you can use baking soda and cold water. That'll help you. He gave me a little envelope full of it. So, shit. They raided my cell the next month. I had a whole case. Now, you don't get high off just baking soda. But it made me belch. Brr, brr. So I had a little feeling going on. I had a whole case of that shit. They was getting ready to call me a kingpin dope seller in jail because I had a case of that shit. So I ain't using it. I use that for, well, why would you need a whole case? I'm an addict. That's the way I think. It took me about 5 or 6 years to stop looking at people's car, breaking habits. You walk down, you know what I mean? On a date, girl, what the fuck are you looking for? It's just habits, man, that I had to, replace with other things, in my life, man. It's just, some of the generic stuff, man, that lets me identify that I'm an addict. I was on the interferon. Didn't work the first time. Then I went on the Pegasus and other pills, and I was on it for a year, and I was like, oh man, I'm suffering like a dog. But when I done the last shot, I had to mentally detox from because I was so used to taking them pills every morning and taking that shot on Sunday that I missed it, and I had to go and talk about. You know what I mean? Because every time I took a shot, damn, I felt that. I didn't feel shit. But it's my mind. So the disease is right here. The disease ain't outside of me. So I can obsess on anything. That's why I keep showing up. Because when I don't show up, I break out. Greatest Ford, Jessup Cut, the Nut House, if I'm lucky. If I'm not so lucky, I'll still be out there using. And I don't want to do that anymore. If you don't have the tools of recovery, we got a lot of literature today, man, and we made it off a lot of literature. We made it off the literature like, little pamphlets, sponsors to make up shit, and, You know, now you don't have to do. We got literature. We got real literature, Narcotics Anonymous literature. And I'm not one of them people saying, well, I don't know. I follow the guidelines. I remember when the second or third edition came out, I was reading it like it was in the first edition, and the guy came and said, you know what you're doing? You're resisting change. And it's always about change. The universe is changing. Life is changing. If you don't change with it, it'll change for you. So you either go with it or it'll drag your ass. One or the other. I choose to go with it. All the changes that we make in Narcotics Anonymous, I'm with that. You know what I mean? Because this is about change. You know, I can't read the first edition in here. I got to read the fifth edition in here. I got to do steps out of the step guide that God allowed some other addicts to put together. I read that literature. I work from that literature. You know, that's where I work from. You know, and I try to use this language that we have here in Narcotics Anonymous. And I think that's one of the reasons that God allowed me to stay clean as long as I have, because I didn't think I could get a day clean, not alone 26 years and some months, you know. And I don't try to get the big head ice. You wouldn't know how much clean time I had if I didn't tell you, you know, because I try, because I don't want to be put on a pedestal. I know this is a dinosaur thing, and I'm glad other people were here with a lot of clean time also, because I don't want to be separated from you. You know, I don't want the separation to be clean times. A lot of people get intimidated because people got clean. I got to do the same thing you done this morning. Get up and read your meditation, pray, talk to somebody else, work, do whatever you have to do. Whatever you do, I have to do the same things. There ain't nobody exempt. You get 20 years old, now you can just do one meeting a week. I didn't use one day a week. I used every day. So I should try to base my program on how I use. 5 minutes? Oh, no. Thanks. Am I right? If I said something wrong here, hey, I'm telling you how I done it. And when things got so bad, my ass was on the ground, you know what? I had enough ammunition. I had enough things in the bank. People. I had you in the bank. Hey, Al, I ain't seen you. Hey, Al, because that medicine had me isolating. I don't know how many of you guys got hepatitis C, but it ain't the worst thing we could have. I don't know how many people got HIV virus or got AIDS. It ain't the worst thing we could have. We can live with it. We ain't got to die from it. We can live with it because ain't nothing promised to nobody. Any of us can walk out of here and fall dead. So this is about life. This ain't about death. If you found this fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous, you're in the right place. This is about living. And all that's going to do for you is give you some more experience. Now I got empathy of people that got depression, or women that suffer from what's that eating disorder thing. Because, man, I went from eating everything to not eating nothing. So bulimic and anorexia, I can identify with that shit now. Depression, I can identify with that kind of stuff now. You know what I mean? Through my own process, I pull the positive from being on that medication. So it ain't a bad thing if you're suffering from something and sit up here and scared to tell somebody or share it with somebody. Hey, free yourself, but we can help you. It's better to let 100 people know what my problem is and break it up into 100 pieces than to walk around with it and suffering and dying from it. Let somebody know. Let us carry you. Let us share that pain. You ain't got to have 100% of it. You can break it up into little pieces, and we all can carry it. You know, Lord, I've had the deaths, the medicine, the loss of wife, the home, and all that crap. That stuff don't mean nothing if that's my world. You know what I mean? Gotta let that shit go. Surrender to live. You know, if a relationship is holding you up, hey, you got to reevaluate. Money is holding you up, you need to reevaluate. You know, if you got a whole lot of affairs and it can't get you to a meeting, you need to drop some of them affairs. You got too much shit going on when you can't reach out and help another addict. You got too much going on. Remember, you got to give it away to keep it. Now, that's the bottom line. And I guarantee you, the people that show up today for this Dinosaur Jam, that is their motto, to give it up. And you ain't got to do the things maybe when you first came around. I got sponsees. If I can't do it, here's Hickey Doo's number. Here's Spliving Gates. Hey, listen, I need you to do so-and-so. I need you to go here. I need you to go there. You know what I mean? Pass it on. And that's the way it works. I thank the committee for asking me to do this and thinking enough of me. If you didn't think enough, I think enough of me. Sure. I really do. They invite me down here to be a part of this spectacular affair, you know. being able to be one of the dinosaurs. I'm gonna tell you this joke and I'm gonna shut up, right? This old guy, he was really old. He was walking down the road and he seen this frog, and the frog said, help me, help me. So he picked the frog up, and the frog said, really, I'm a princess, and if you kiss me, I'll adore you and be with you the rest of my life. So he took the frog, put it in his pocket. So he walked, and the frog said, hey, hey. So he took it out. What? He said, did you hear what I said? I'm a beautiful princess. If you kiss me, I'll love you and protect you and be with you and take care of you all my life. He said, shit, at my age, I'd rather have a talking frog.